In our profession of faith during a Eucharistic celebration, we recite the Creed. Part of the Creed refers to Jesus, and it goes as follows. He suffered under Pontius Pilate and was crucified, died and was buried. He descended to the dead. On the third day he rose again. This is a central tenet of our Christian faith, yet many of us recite these lines without thinking. Praying the Stations of the Cross is a way of slowing down these lines from our creed and journeying with Jesus during his last hours of human life and through to the amazing Easter morning of resurrection.
Pilate found no fault with Jesus, but when the crowd grew loud, he grew silent. I wash my hands, you deal with it. Pilate had the knowledge and the power to stand and say no to the world as it sought to crush the Lord of life.
When I see an injustice, hear an insult, witness bullying, do I think it's not my problem and walk away? How many times do I participate by my silence in the passion of Jesus? Who will be hurt because I do not say no?
The second station, Jesus takes up his cross. This cross has now been thousands of years in the making. Its weight still grows greater each time I look for someone to blame for the pain in my world. Jesus falls the first time. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed us. Jesus, they watched you fall and nervously laughed together.
Dear Jesus, laying there on the ground, you feel my laughter, our laughter, as a slap in the face. In your innocence, you cause me to question my desire to laugh at anyone else. Give me the courage to stop laughing at the pain of others, to see the human person beneath the joke we have made of them.
Jesus, they wanted to make you an object of laughter, to isolate you completely. But your mother's loving presence got in the way. She withstood the blows of taunt and sorrow to be present for you along the way. She alone remained to give you courage, to remind us that you are someone's child.
How many times, Lord, have I watched another suffer, but from a safe distance? How many times have you looked out at me through the eyes of another for comfort, but were unable to find it?
The fifth station, Simon helps Jesus to carry the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. You are beaten so severely, not able to go on, so they looked for a solution that wouldn't involve them too closely, or have them touch the cross themselves.
How many times have I called on others to do my violence for me, to deliver a hateful note, to spread rumours, to damage property, to cause pain? When have I ignored those around me who are taunted, downtrodden, in need? Give me the courage to step forward and say, enough.
Remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember.
As you walked along, you were almost unrecognizable. It was so much easier to greet you, to jeer you, to wish you dead, when they couldn't see your face.
Do I have it in me to see your face clearly when I look into your eyes, into the eyes of another person? Your suffering is the suffering of one who is
Your fall made their hatred well up even more powerfully, so the mob screamed all the louder, "Get up! Get up!" desperate to find an outlet for their rage.
How many times have I added my voice to the mob? How many times have I kicked someone when he or she is down? How many times have I picked on someone in order to fit in with the crowd? It is not just easier to attack someone who's weakened. I sometimes sense that it's necessary in order to prove that they are different, disappointing, and worthy of my disdain and even hatred.
Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem.
We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross we have redeemed.
You told them, "Weep not for me, but for yourselves and your children." The women of Jerusalem, standing at a distance, wanted to weep for you, as though your fate were unrelated to theirs.
How many times have I contemplated your passion, Lord, being sad even to the point of tears? How many times have I wanted to weep because of your pain, without recognizing that humanity caused it? How often, Lord, have I blinded myself to my complicity in violence and kept my distance, by feeling sorry for the victims without actually doing anything for them?
Jesus falls a third time.
How many times have I seen another weakness as an opportunity to shape them, to change them into what I need them to be? How many times have I blamed the weak or downtrodden for their condition to justify my disdain? I find it easy to say he's hopeless because he's lazy. Dear Jesus, I continue to assign blame and guilt in order to justify continued persecution. When I do that to another person, I do that to you, Jesus. Jesus, teach me the real meaning of mercy. Deliver me from the need for a guilty victim, least I may.
Jesus is stripped before the crowd. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. Physical humiliation wasn't enough. Spitting wasn't enough. Whipping wasn't enough. Crucifixion wasn't enough.
Dear Jesus, as you stood there, stripped before the crowd, you were even more dignified than anyone present. Help me to see the dignity that you have, that every child of God, every person has, a dignity that nobody, including me, can never take away.
The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross.
How many times have I allowed my anger to turn unchecked into rage? How many times have I allowed my rage to drive me to cruelty? Cruel acts, cruel speech. How many times has another person borne the scars of my rage?
The 12th station, Jesus dies on the cross. The peace they pursued as they chased him up the hill refused to come. As they gazed upon Jesus, their victim, the realization dawned. Violence would never bring peace. They were terrified and alone, even as they stood.
I am horrified. The foundation beneath my feet seems to crumble as I contemplate a world without violence. How can I talk to others without blame, without gossip, without slander, without insult? How can I laugh without putting you down? How can I build without destroying? How can I use without abusing? What would be my foundation for relationship with others and with the world?
13th station. Jesus is taken down from the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and bless you, because by your cross we have redeemed. Once the spectacle ended, the mob felt compelled to leave. Once the task of dealing with his lifeless body, of touching Jesus, was left to those who were already on the knee. So the mob had all departed by the time and heart permitted those who loved Jesus to bring him down from the cross.
How often, Lord, have I fled my own horror? How often have I left the wounded in body or spirit in the care of others? How often have I walked away from those in pain because of my own fear? How often have I hidden from my own fear of pain, of dying, of death, afraid of what I might discover about others or myself?
The 14th station. Jesus is laid in the tomb. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your oath from us we have been redeemed. Those who did not abandon Jesus, those who refused to join him on, laid his body to rest with great tenderness. At that moment they saw nothing but the vine in the torn flesh, nothing holy in the bloodied brow. They knew only sorrow, deeper than the greatest trenches of the oceans. Deep, deep sorrow. So much for being here to pray the Stations of the Cross in this very unique way for us. I thank Father Amy and the Franciscan Friars for their hospitality, to Dee Maria for her hospitality. I'm sure as we pray the Stations today, you will have been really touched. As we walked through the streets, we have given great witness. We have really walked with Jesus. I hope that the Stations we have prayed today will be a real yes to God's invitation to be creative partners in what we are making of our world today. That we will create a world free of injustice, a world that follows love, truth and life. And in doing so, make Waterford, make our families, make our homes places of justice and peace. My sincere thanks to Children's Food Link for helping us deepen our prayer time today by really entering into the different stations. I know it's probably not I know we're encouraged to stay in the silence and all of that. Thank you so much. You are absolutely fantastic. And thank you to everybody who walked